What's up guys, my name is Robin and I make stuff. I recently posted a tutorial on a praying mantis. It looks like this, full of rainbow colors, bright and fun. My students nailed it. In fact, here's a couple of their examples. They killed it, but I had a lot of questions, even some from my students, about how I drew it. And then I got questions from other people looking at my students' work saying, wow, did your students actually draw this? I teach watercolor. Drawing can be a whole separate topic and study. Do you need to know how to draw? Yes, to an extent. There are shortcuts, and I am here to tell you that it's okay to take full advantage of these shortcuts. In fact, I encourage it. Technology is insane, which means there are a lot of insane options for you to take advantage of. You get to choose whether or not those feel right for you. Own it. Don't let somebody tell you, you really shouldn't do that. Robin, did you draw that praying mantis? Heck no, I did not draw that praying mantis. Can you even draw? Can I draw? Yes, I can draw. I'm going to prove it to you. When there is technology available so you can get straight to painting, and I'm teaching multiple tutorials a week, I don't have time to sit there, draw something, erase a little bit, draw something, erase a little bit. Use your time wisely. Think smarter, not harder. I'm here to give you permission to do whatever it takes to get you to paint more. Make it easy. Let's get straight to the painting. If you want to learn how to draw, you should spend time drawing more. Don't let anybody tell you that you have to do art a certain way. There are very technical artists out there. I don't happen to be one of them. What you see is what you get. And if you like what you get and it makes you want to do more art, then just do that. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Okay, I'm going to walk you through how I draw this praying mantis. If you had to draw it from scratch, here's how I would do it. Here's the version that AI created for me that I based this entire painting on. I'm using this as inspiration so that I can teach people how you would paint something like this. Let's talk about drawing, since people seem to be really hung up on it. If you look at the size of this little graphic, it's about the same ratio as this piece of paper, a piece of watercolor paper. And if you get really hung up on that and you need it to be the same, fine, draw yourself a box. But until then, I want to focus on some of the main lines and where they fall in relationship to the sides, the corners, etc. of my paper. And we're looking at shapes, right? So like the head is kind of this teardrop, upside down teardrop shape, and it's about this far down here and maybe this far over. We'll say, something like this and then like that. Right? Very simple. And then it's got some eyeballs, and this one's maybe a little bit more on the side. Okay. So there's the head of this praying mantis. Then it's got a body that comes all the way down. I also want to make sure I have enough room for this branch. So maybe I will put the branch in now, at least one line of it, and I'll say that it comes up here, maybe to right there. And it kind of comes down, goes off the paper, a little past the middle, right-ish there. And then this piece comes back. Now, you do not have to make this perfect. Look, I made that a little wider right there. I can take liberty at making it look close enough. I find a lot of people would erase that and be like, oh my gosh, that's not right. It doesn't have to be exact. I release you from that. So now we have this back, and it's kind of this long line, and it goes right over to about here somewhere. Maybe even over there, whatever. And it starts kind of in the middle of the eye, and we can just draw a line to start, and we can always come and put the curves in more if we need to. Now, as I'm looking at this, I'm noticing, does that head seem like it's the right size? If this is the middle of our paper, and the middle of this is kind of right there, I may need to make that head a little bit bigger. Maybe the bottom of the head goes to there, right? So I can adjust things as I go if I need to. The drawing that you're making is just guidelines, all right? So then it has this kind of loopy little shell thing, kind of goes like this, okay? Just like that, not a big deal. So these legs are like a straight up and down thing, and then this way, and there's also a branch. Let's make where the branch is, so we have somewhere for these arms to land. We'll say this branch kind of comes out right here and goes down to the corner of the paper. This first elbow bend is maybe right here. I'm making all these little reference points to get the sizing of this as close as I can. And it's got these kind of oblong looking weird things, and there's another one over here, and it kind of goes down, and then it's got this one that goes up here, right? And then there's an elbow thing, a kneecap, I don't know. It's a praying mantis, it's already weird enough. Okay, another one, that kind of goes back this way, and then a weird foot thing, and then another long foot right here and then kind of goes behind. Don't put all the hairs on it and stuff like that. We don't need to do that. That's just unnecessary. You're going to paint all that in. Once we kind of get these basic shapes, that's when we can come in and say, well, actually kind of curves up a little bit more like that. And there's going to be maybe a line down here. You can put those little reference indications in there. Maybe this goes like this, and maybe this is just a little bit wider. Okay, and then we have these little sections. And if I'm looking at the base of his, like the underside of his body, it's going to kind of come down, and then he's got another leg thing happening where all these like spider looking legs are coming out of. So maybe I want to figure out where that is. And we'll say from this branch and like kind of centered in the abdomen part of his body, maybe something like here. That's where that leg is going to be coming out. And there's a leg that comes up like this and has some weird legs that come down. And I'm just putting those lines to help me, and I can come back and make those thicker and bigger in a minute. This is a thicker leg. Okay, he's got this joint and something that kind of goes up here. I don't know, maybe it's just a little bit lower. And then from here, kind of got all this stuff that comes down, and this other leg comes up, but it doesn't intersect the shell, right? So I'm paying attention to that. That's a reference point for me. It's going to come up to about there, and then it's going to swing down over here, and then a weird leg over there. And look, there's a weird leg thing right here. I don't know. So many legs. And AI made this, so it may have made way more legs than you need for it to make. Okay, so there's that. There's another leg thing coming down here. And then we have all these like sections, right? So we have this next section, this one, and then there's a bunch of weird stuff kind of going on in here, and you don't have to get it right? We're not doing like a scientific illustration. It's not going to go in some book or encyclopedia. Do they even make encyclopedias anymore? I used to love looking at those things. Now it's just Google and overwhelming. All right, so this is a section. And then, I don't know, there's some stuff going on in here. And then he's got this like abdomen area, and that's kind of bulbous, like this maybe. That might be too much, whatever. And that goes down like this, and this goes down like that. And then there's this section and that section, and you can kind of just make it up. No one's coming in and critiquing it, except for my students are critiquing whether or not I'm drawing anything. And you might be saying, this didn't take that long. Yeah, but I'm also second guessing. Like the size of the head still looks too small. So I think I would make it maybe this big and adjust from there. I don't know, something like that. It's got this shell, and then you can kind of just come and fine tune things. But the rest of it, that's about all you really need to do to paint it. And you might be saying, oh my gosh, that looks terrible. Does it though? His face does, because I drew that like 5 times. But if we come in and we say, okay, here's where this face actually is, and got this big old eyeball. The eyeballs are the cool part. And then he's got this thing kind of in the middle. I don't know, you just kind of pay attention to weird random things, and here's the highlights, and that's all we would really need to do. Then you start looking at it and painting all the details that you see. But that's all you have to do for a drawing. It doesn't have to be a very polished or finished drawing. But notice that I paid attention to this here, that here, and then how far this is from that, and then where did this end up, right? Where did this point start? How far away is that from the bottom? Where did this exit? Where did this start? And how far away was that? So all of these things I'm paying attention to, noticing that this also didn't intersect his shell, whatever the heck it's called, and where this also has a distance. So as you're figuring out all of those things, that helps you sort of connect one line to a dot, one point to another point with a line. And then you can come back in, like you can see I did this line, and maybe I wanted to have a little bit more, curve to it. But that's all you would really have to do. We're paying attention to the spacing between everything, and that's what helps you create a drawing from scratch. Then you're going to paint the details. So that's really all there is to it. If you're making art and you're not having fun, then you're not making art. Art should be fun. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time that I make stuff.